Mangwana Nimalilepo Vukenjani Klekwa Savannah Africa. Welcome to Africa Good Morning, the news and current affairs show bringing you everything you need to know happening on the African continent and beyond. We certainly hope you enjoyed your workers' day. These are some of the top stories you can expect in today's broadcast. Thousands evacuated and flights disrupted as Indonesian volcano erupts again. And first failed asylum seeker sent to Rwanda under voluntary scheme. We'll also be crossing over to Talent Gore as she gives us the latest from Zimbabwe, including the freshly rolled out new currency. My name is Ashwin Betty. Top stories coming up soon.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
Getting into our top stories, thousands of people have been evacuated and flights have been disrupted after Indonesia's Mount Rwanda erupted again, sending thick clouds of ash more than 5 kilometers into the sky. Officials said the volcano in the archipelago's North Sulawesi province erupted at least 3 times, prompting fears debris might fall into the sea and cause a tsunami. Footage shared by Indonesia's disaster mitigation agency showed strikes of lightning flashing above Ruang's crater as fiery red clouds of lava and rocks were thrown into the air. The agency said that all 843 residents living on Ruang Island, where the volcano is located, had been moved to Manado, the provincial capital, about 100 kilometers away. Some 12,000 people from the neighboring Tagulalandang Island are being evacuated to Siau Island further north, with 2 ships deployed to help with the process. Now, the UK has returned a first failed asylum seeker to Rwanda after a voluntary removals program, it is understood. Under the scheme announced last month, migrants whose claims are rejected are offered up to £3,000 to move to the East African country. It is separate to the forced return scheme the government announced 2 years ago. The scheme, which has been beset by delays, is due to begin by mid-July. The Sun, which first reported the story, said the unnamed man was flown out of the UK on a commercial flight. Officials would not be drawn on any details other than to say the asylum seeker had exhausted all rights to be in the UK. The Rwandan government confirmed that a failed asylum seeker arrived on a flight from London. Labour said the move showed ministers were desperate to get a flight off to Rwanda before the local elections in England, which are scheduled for today. The scheme will also be opened up to other people with no right to remain in the UK, as well as foreign criminals. Now, a disturbing scene was captured on Facebook Live when a 22-year-old Durban University of Technology student was assaulted and stabbed, allegedly by a fellow student at their residence on the main Steve Biko campus in Durban. The victim, who was live streaming a video obtained by the witness, shouting at her attacker as she attempts to lock the door. Chaos ensues as the victim struggles to fend off the attacker, screaming for help, while other students inquire about the cause of the visible blood. Following the ordeal, the student revealed in a subsequent video that she had received medical attention and pleaded for prayers, stating her trauma. I ask myself how I managed to fight her off while she was on top of me. I am putting everything in the hands of the police, and I hope that justice will be served. Emotionally, I am not okay. Whenever I close my eyes, I see her closing the door, she said. Student Representative Council President at Steve Biko campus, Solomzi Zoleka, said that the student body was investigating the matter. Now, Kenya's flag carrier said it was halting flights to Democratic Republic of Congo, protesting the detention of its staff by the military in Kinshasa. The airline said in a statement that with its employees in detention, it was unable to support flights to and out of Kinshasa's capital of the DR Congo. Now, the two employees who are based at the airline's airport office were arrested nearly 2 weeks ago on accusations of failing to produce documentation for sensitive cargo, Kenya Airways said. There has been no word from the Congolese government on the matter. Kenya Airways CEO Alan Kilavuka said that the airline had not accepted to fly the cargo, whose content had not been specified for the lack of documentation. And the Mozambican government has approved new minimum wages for 8 sectors of activities, excluding the public service, after a consensus reached at the Labour Consultative Commission, the tripartite negotiating forum between the government, the employers and the trade unions. The announcement was made by Deputy Minister of Labour and Social Security Rolinho Fanela at the press briefing minutes after the end of the 13th ordinary session of the Council of Ministers. The salary increase varies between 200 meticais and 1,720.47 meticais. As usual, the new wages are backdated to the 1st of April. The increases are only for workers on the minimum wage. All wages above the minimum are negotiated through collective bargaining between employers and unions, workplace by workplace. Those have been our top stories on Africa Good Morning. ZIG, Z-I-G, the new gold-backed currency, has been launched in Zimbabwe, and Talent Gore will be taking us through that in another story. Stay with us.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
All right, it's time for us to talk to Talent Gore about the news stories stemming from Zimbabwe. Talent Wamukase.
Africa.
Tamukahedu. Now, 44 individuals who have been masquerading as doctors and general employees at one of Zimbabwe's major hospitals have been arrested. Take us through this.
Yes, apparently Parirenyatwa group of hospitals has said that they have arrested 11 bogus doctors and 33 others who are masquerading as employees at one of Zimbabwe's biggest hospitals. The case of the 11 doctors is in the courts in Harare. And apparently the hospital is saying that they try by all means to make sure that their security is tight, but they just don't know how people coming in and pretending to be employees, worst of all, doctors at one of the major hospitals in Zimbabwe. You find out these two, they're actually masquerading as doctors, and one of them was caught with a pethidine medicine, which is one of the most drugs in Zimbabwe. And apparently the hospital is saying that they just don't know how people are coming into the hospital and pretending to be employees, and how the hospital itself is failing to pick that these people are part of us. You find out that Parirenyatwa Hospitals has so many employees, about 4,000 employees are employed at about 4,000 people are employed at Parirenyatwa group of hospitals. So it is quite difficult, and it is one of the major hospitals in Zimbabwe. So you find out there's a lot of traffic, people come in and go, and some of the people just get in as patients, but they have motives behind why they are going into the hospital. Some of these cases, they are actually in court, and some of the fake doctors, bogus doctors who have been arrested, they are in police custody right now. So investigations are still going on to figure out how these people are actually getting into the hospital and that people to infiltrate the hospital like that.
All right, Talent, will certainly be looking forward to an update on that story. Now, about a month ago, Zimbabwe government announced that it would be rolling a new currency. Unfortunately, at this time, the old currency was still in play, which created a lot of tensions because people were not sure if they should still receive the old currency with the pending new currency. Now, the new currency has officially arrived. Has this provided any relief to Zimbabweans on the ground?
Yes, on Tuesday, Zimbabweans started transacting in the new coins, and people were able to go to the banks and withdraw the Zig coins and notes. And you find that this is so much relief on the citizens of Zimbabwe, particularly those who use public transport, the commuters, and also for vendors, because you find out that when the Reserve Bank introduced the new notes, people started rejecting the old currency. So it was quite difficult then for businesses, particularly for commuters, because they were supposed to give people their change, but they did not have money for that. So people were now paying double the price of what they used to pay. So now the new currencies brought relief for the general populace in Zimbabwe. And you find out that people on Tuesday, when they were transacting and they were withdrawing money, the banks were they only had $20 notes and coins on Tuesday. But as of now, right now, people are getting their money, getting $20 notes, $50 notes, $100 notes, and even $200 notes, and also the Zig coins. So this has brought so much relief to the Zimbabweans. So we're just going to be monitoring the situation, how the market is going to be responding to the new currency, given that we're just using that money. So Zimbabwe has a history of inflation. So we're just going to be monitoring to see how the public, how the businesses are going to be responding to the new currency.
Interesting thing there, Talent. I noticed there's a QR code that is on the notes. Do we know anything about the functionality of that?
We don't know anything about the functionality of that. The Reserve Bank governor has explained as to why we have that QR code on our notes. But I'll try to get my hand on the money and try to scan it and see what happens if one scans that QR code. Because as of now, we are not really sure what that QR code is for. But the speculations, I think I saw someone saying that if you scan that QR code, it automatically gets into your phone or something. We're not really sure what is going on with that QR code. So we're just going to try and figure out and hear what the other visit governor has to say concerning that QR code. Because as of now, people have what that feature is for.
Yeah, I mean, it does make one wonder that a currency was announced a month ago, and a month later we don't know all the full specs of its functionality. But thank you very much, Talent, for bringing us the news stories as they are from Zimbabwe.
You're welcome, and thank you very much for having me.
It's always good having you on Africa Good Morning. Some Africans that might be having a good morning is Nigerian workers who've experienced a 35% pay hike. But we'll be talking about that in economic news after the weather. Now, Nigeria raised salaries for government workers between 25% and 35% backdated to January, the Salaries Commission said, as Africa's biggest economy grapples with its worst cost of living crisis in nearly 3 decades. The lowest paid government employee will earn 450,000 naira a year or 37,500 monthly, the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission said in the statement. The increase covers all federal government employees, including those in the health, education and security sectors. The government is separately negotiating with labor unions on a new national monthly minimum wage, which was last reviewed in 2019. Nigerians are facing inflation of 33.20%, the highest in 28 years, after the government removed a popular petrol subsidy and foreign currency controls, which weakened the naira currency. The country's electricity regulator this month hiked tariffs for some consumers as the government tries to wean the economy from subsidies to ease pressure on public finances. Now, South Africa's largest cryptocurrency exchange, VALR, will now offer crypto asset services in Poland and is eyeing other jurisdictions across the globe in hopes to take on some of the world's crypto giants, its CEO told Reuters. VALR is one of 75 crypto asset service providers that were recently granted licenses this year by the Financial Sector Conduct Authority to operate in South Africa, a key step in making crypto a mainstream investment option and creating a regulated environment for users. Founded in 2018, VALR offers spot trading, margin trading, perpetual futures and staking products to its over 600,000 retail customers and over 1,000 institutional customers across South Africa and globally. About 75% of its customers are from South Africa, while 25% are from all over the world, and VALR wants to increase this share of clients from outside South Africa, Chief Executive Fazam Esani told Reuters in an interview. Those have been our economic news stories. We're going to swing over to the indicators just before Ari Hochad brings us the sport.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news and starting off with soccer news first from the English Premier League from Manchester United. And Manchester United currently outside of the top four and will probably not play Champions League next year. That is because they're outside of the top four in the English Premier League. News from the club is that the new business partner, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, is making some changes, and it seems like Manchester United willing to listen to offers to virtually all of their squad. That will include players like Marcus Rashford and also Bruno Fernandes. It is understood that Marcus Rashford might go to a team like Paris Saint-Germain, PSG. They're interested in offering Marcus Rashford a contract. That is because they will probably lose their key striker, Kylian Mbappe. Some of the players at Manchester United will not be up for sale. That is some of the younger players, and that is players like Rasmus Højlund and also Kobe Mainoo. And it is Manchester United that currently number 6 or in 6th position on the English Premier League with just a few games to play. And but they also play in the final of the FA Cup, and that they will play against Manchester City. Moving on to Formula One racing news, and the next Grand Prix will be this coming weekend. It will be the Miami Grand Prix. It is the 6th race of the year, and still it is Max Verstappen dominating. After the 5 races, he's got 110 points, and then followed by his teammate Sergio Perez on 85 points. Then the Ferraris, 3rd and 4th, that is Charles Leclerc on 75 and Carlos Sainz on 69. McLaren take position number 5 and 6 on the points at the moment, and Mercedes-Benz still struggling with George Russell, the best position at number 7 with 33 league points at the moment. Also news from Formula One is there's still uncertainty at Red Bull if their chief technical officer Adrian Newby will stay with Red Bull. He's got a contract up till 2025, but there's been speculation that he might move away from the team, and that is because in the wake of the controversy that is involving the allegations against the team principal Christian Horner. So that is still not certain if Adrian Newby will stay with Red Bull or move on to another team. And to conclude today's international sports news, it is news from the tennis court. It's the Madrid Open that continues. Results from the men's side, the round of 32, it is Yannick Sinner that beat Pavel Kotov by 6-2 and 7-5. Yannick Sinner is number 1 seed in the men's division. And then experienced Rafael Nadal still continuing to win. He's in the top 16 at the moment. Last 16, he beat Kedri Sachem of Argentina 6-1, 6-7 and 6-3. And then also Daniel Medvedev, the number 3 seed, beat Sebastian Korda in 3 sets. In the women's side of the draw, it was number 2 seed Aryna Sabalenka had to work hard for her win to move to the top 16. She beat Danielle Collins of the USA in 3 sets. And then it was the 2 Americans, Madeline Keys and Coco Gauff, that played. It was in the end Madeline Keys, number 18 seed, beat the number 3 seed Coco Gauff also in 3 sets to advance to the round of 16. That's international sports news for today. I hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
Thank you for staying with Africa Good Morning. Let's have a look at some of the highlights from the broadcast. Thousands evacuated, flights disrupted as Indonesian volcano erupts again. First failed asylum seekers sent to Rwanda under voluntary scheme. And Nigeria announces up to 35% pay hike for government workers. Thank you for staying with Africa Good Morning. 1up2.com, DSTV 285 and GoTV 25 is where you can find us. From me, Ashwin Berry, and the Africa Good Morning team, Sweraja Kanaka.